Jamaica. You're listening to us on ABS Radio 90.5 FM, and you're also listening to us on live stream here from the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium here in Antigua and Barbuda. Just to give you the lineups once more: Brenton Mohammed in goal, Karanja Mack, Tamale Thomas, Mervyn Hazelwood, Vashami Allen, Courtney Wilden, Nathaniel Jarvis, Duran Martin, Peter Byers, Connor Peters, and Adriel George for Antigua Barbuda. And for the Reggae Boys of Jamaica, Jovain Brown, Ladale Ritchie, who is the captain, Fabian McCarthy, Jamil Hardware, Tevin Shaw, Amal Knight, he's the goalkeeper tonight, Fabian Reed, Chevron Marsh, Peter Vassell, Ricardo Morris, Sean Laws. That's the starting lineup for the Reggae Boys of Jamaica versus the Benner Boys of Antigua Barbuda. The referee team this evening, Moet Games of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He's assisted by Denroy Barker and Kenron Daniel, both also of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the fourth official this evening is Cardella Samuels, the Jamaican female referee. She is doing the fourth official duties this evening. Both teams are in the middle, just posing for the official photograph. We have a 7 p.m. local time start, 6 p.m. if you're listening to us over there in Jamaica. Denmore Roberts is the name of the commentator this evening, and he's assisted this evening by comments person Oliver Joseph, a local referee here in Antigua and Barbuda, and also a coach in his own right. What level are you? Level 2? Level 1? I don't know. He's done a lot of coaching in the local system, especially with females and youth, and they're just switching around. They're just trying to make sure that the teams are huddling. The Jamaicans are switching over the toss, so the Antiguans, they're going to be kicking from left to right as we look at it, and the Jamaicans will be coming in the opposite direction. Jamaica tonight in green and black with green socks. The Benner Boys of Wadadley in their home colors, gold with black and gold and yellow socks as well. So they're in gold and gold with just a black streak on the shirt, and the Reggae Boys, they're going to be in their green away jerseys this evening. We're just waiting for the start of the match. The whistle has gone to start play, and it's with the Reggae Boys in defense. They're kicking, as we would look at it, we would say from west to east. They're going from right to left as we look at it. The ball is launched long by the Reggae Boys out onto the right hand side, but overhit. It's going to be throw-in for Antigua and Barbuda inside their own half. Antigua Barbuda have it on the left side. Karanja Mack takes the throw-in inside, headed up into the air, won by the Jamaicans. They're looking to bring it down. They have it now. Jamaica on that right hand side. Just a little bit of interplay between the Jamaicans. They now go all the way back into defense, Jamaica, and they're just knocking it around, trying just to get everybody a touch on the ball this evening. The Jamaicans, as they have it in defense. Jamaica nil, Antigua Barbuda nil. We've just started. We're in the first minute. Ball played long, looking for the Jamaican forward line, trying to go right across the handball. Ball is knocked down with his arm by Karanja Mack. And Jamaica has a free kick in a dangerous position early on in the second minute of the match from just about 25 yards or so, dead center on the goal of the Antigua and Barbuda custodian in Brenton Mohammed, and early signs of nerves from the Antigua and Barbuda defender in Karanja Mack, bringing that one down with his arm.
Yes.
So, Jamaica nil, Antigua Barbuda nil. The referee Games trying to pull the wall back the 9.15 meters, making sure that he clears that penalty area line. He's now instructing the wall not to use their arm, because if they do, he's going to use it. The Jamaican, is it the number 17 that's standing there? He runs forward, strikes it hard. The goalkeeper knocks it down and was able to recover, but it was straight at him. The number 17 for Jamaica in Vassell having a shot at the goal, but it went straight at goalkeeper Mohammed, and you would expect him to handle that one without much fuss. Then he boots it long, way too long. The ball goes right over the top of everyone and into touch for a Jamaican goal kick. It's been all Jamaica so far. They've had the possession. Here is Jamaica on the right-hand side. They chip it forward, looking for the forward players, headed away by the Antigua and Barbuda defense, who goes square and almost gets himself into trouble. Antigua Barbuda Benna boys with it. Then they lose out now to the Jamaica Reggae boys. Here is the Jamaican number 16 player. Is that Marsh? Siobhan Marsh moving from left to right, still with it, a little flick up into the air, trying to play with a little bit of flair early on, the Jamaicans. Antigua Barbuda trying to weather the early storm. They get it long, looking for Byers. Byers was looking to flick it on for the Antigua and Barbuda team, looking for Tamale Ziggy Thomas. Thomas in midfield for Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda, we're just trying to sort out the formation. Looks as if it's a 4-5-1 formation. I think Peter Byers is going to have a lot of work to do on his own up front this evening. As we look at it, he's going to have quite a bit to do up front. Peter Byers. Here is the ball played forward for Jamaica. Marsh comes on the inside, gives it back to his number 8 player, who then goes square with Shaw. Goes right across. Antigua Barbuda wins it in midfield, but then gives it away. This is Jamaica with Marsh. Twist and turn, trying to thread the needle, playing it forward, and Jamaica spreads it out on that right side. The ball is played badly. It was looking to get it across the face of goal of the Antiguan custodian in Mohammed. The ball just floats over the top of the crossbar for a goal kick to Antigua Barbuda. Antigua Barbuda nil, Jamaica nil, early stages of the match.
Yes, Jamaican full control so far. Antigua still trying to settle, still trying to get their nerves together. And like you said, yes, Peter Byers will have a long day, long evening tonight, all by him lonesome up. I'm never, ever in agreement with this 4-5-1 strategy.
Antigua Barbuda, they have it, and just the whistle of more games going there. The referee, as the Antigua and Barbuda player just bundled over a Jamaican player in trying to get the ball. It's with Jamaica with their number 18. Then playing it backwards. Jamaica, they have it in defense. That's the number 4 in Richie, who is the captain. They're just trying to roll it around in defense. Jamaica trying to just use the width of the field, trying to keep the ball as much as they can. They're in possession, go right across the back 4 in Laws, then given away by the Jamaica team. So Antigua Barbuda will have a throw in. Antigua Barbuda would need to settle and try to get into this match. Here is Byers being held. Here's a chance for Antigua and Barbuda. The player goes square. This is Tamale Thomas. He has a left-footed effort, but it is much too far away from the goal. Went right over the top of the crossband behind for a goal kick to the Jamaica Reggae boys. Played short out by the Reggae boys. Looks to be Laws that has it. In defense, Jamaica taking their time about it. The Antiguans just retreated, not coming forward. The Jamaicans look to go long. The ball comes off the chest of the Jamaican forward player and given away to Antigua and Barbuda, who tries to go long again, looking for Peter Byers. Byers up on his own up front for Antigua and Barbuda. The Jamaicans just trying to do that triangular pass in motion, but Marsh couldn't get anywhere close to it. Here is this one thrown long, looking for Byers, but won by the Jamaican defense. They have it on their left-hand side. They look to go forward. Ball is played long up into the air. Mac jumps highest, heads it only to as far as the Jamaican player, who begins to run forward. The number 7 gives it out wide, hardware. Then still Jamaica. They're trying to go forward with some quick passing, trying to get around the Antigans. Twist and turn coming from the Jamaican midfield player. Gets a 1-2 ball, but the Antigans break it up. Then they have it in midfield, the Benna boys. But is crowded out by the Jamaicans, who are quickly onto them. Here is Marsh trying to go forward for Jamaica. The Antigua Banner boys trying to clear. This one is now out onto that right-hand side for the Banner boys. Then Karanja Mack goes forward again to nobody. Straight through to the Jamaican custodian. And tonight, it's Knight in goal for Jamaica. Amal Knight. It's with the Reggae boys in defense. They just try to knock it around. Good one-touch stuff, this from the Jamaicans. Again, they go back in defense. Just trying to size out the Antiguans. Here is the Jamaicans on their left side. The ball played up into the air, looking for that forward player. Just trying to go forward for Jamaica. They have it there. Good diagonal pass. This finds the man out on that right hand side. Comes back on the inside. They were looking to thread the needle for that unrushing player on that left side. And then Mack gets himself into trouble. Robbed far too easily of the ball for Antigua and Barbuda. As the ball is played again right across the field for the Jamaicans from right to left. Marsh cuts on the inside. Still with it. Puts it onto the boot of the Jamaican forward, but Antigua intercepts. Play it forward for Peter Byers, who is pushed in the back. Referee games blowing, and then just running to the spot where the foul would have taken place. It's a free kick for the Jamaica, for the Banner boys of Antigua and Barbuda. Correction, just about in this center circle. They leave it. The Banner boys, they have what, four players forward, but no one really in an attacking position. And just as we saw the players were sort of leaning towards the right of the penalty area, the ball chipped in that direction but overhit and goes behind for a goal kick for the Reggae boys. Till 0-0 between the Reggae boys of Jamaica and the Banner boys of Antigua and Barbuda. We've gone into the 10th minute of the match. Still 0-0 between these two, as ball is kicked away by the Jamaica Reggae boys. We understand that they're using most of the homegrown players for the Reggae boys. The Banner boys, we see some names. Joseph, you'll tell me who they are that they would have brought in for this friendly encounter.
Well, I see here we have Courtney Wilden, we have Nathaniel Jarvis, Duran Martin, Connor Peters, Adriel George.
So, sounds like what, 5 players that would have been brought in by the coaching
Brenton
team.
Mohammed, but he's
Well, he's a regular.
So
he's a regular.
we won't count him as one that
Yes,
that is in.
he's a regular. So we'll see 5 players brought in for this encounter by Antigua and Barbuda. Here is Antigua and Barbuda on that left side. The player twisting and turning, and then coming back on the inside. This is Mack trying to go forward to find that left-sided player. But here is Marsh for correction. This is the number 17 for
That's Vassal.
Jamaica, Vassal. Here is the Banner boys in midfield. This is Tamale Thomas with it. Stands up, and then he's been forced backwards. Goes square, finds a player in midfield for the Banner boys. No Quinton Griffith in the squad this evening. He's normally a regular as well. I thought that if they were bringing in somebody, they might have gone for Griffith. The ball going through the legs of the Jamaican player by the Antigua and Barbuda forward player. But the ball runs into touch, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Jamaicans.
Probably Quinton could not be released from his club, Charlotte. I think their season has started already, and since this is not really an international friendly, I don't think that his club would have released him for this game.
Diagonal ball played for Jamaica on the left side, but good defensive work coming from Bashami Allen for the Benna boys. I keep saying reggae boys. Benna for Antigua and Barbuda, reggae for Jamaica. Here is the Jamaicans in defense, just trying to knock it around. 4 players in close proximity to each other. We now go across onto that far side for the number 20 player in Laws. Then they go forward looking to chip it forward. Here's a chance for Jamaica, but good work by Brenton Mohammed coming off of his line and clearing as the Jamaicans were lurking on that occasion. Just a bit of holding and then a late call coming from referee Games of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we just say good evening to Clemoy Francois, if you're listening to us over there in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, former colleague of mine. He used to assess games and work together. We also say good evening to all those who are listening to us over in Jamaica. If you're following our stream, say good evening to the referee family, Victor Stewart and others in Jamaica. Here is an opportunity. The ball is headed away by the Jamaican defense, and Antigua Barbuda, they will have a corner kick on the left-hand side.
Yes, Antigua and Barbuda seems to be settling, and so they started to play the ball around, pass it around. I think the early nerves have gone, and so now we're seeing a better play from Antigua and Barbuda.
So they have a corner kick, an opportunity for them to probably get an attacking option. The corner is taken, not very well taken. It's a poor corner kick. The ball is only partially cleared by Jamaica, but the putback is not good by the Antigua and Barbuda midfield player. Who was that made that poor pass in the midfield there?
Yes, since some of these players are new players, they're not our regulars, so it'll be hard to just look out on the field of play and identify them. So we'll have to first find the numbers.
And they're pretty far from us as well.
It's easy to identify people like Ziggy
that
and
was
Pashabi and so on.
The number 12 player
number
there.
12 for Antigua.
For Antigua. Who's that? Wilden? We'll find him. Nathaniel Jarvis is the number 12 for Antigua and Barbuda. But here is Jamaica trying to thread the needle once more. This is the player there in Marsh, who is in an offside position.
Assistant signaling that he came from an offside position and interfered with play. And so then and therefore he did the right thing in signaling him offside.
Number 16, Siobhan Marsh for the Jamaicans. So free kick to Antigua Barbuda. Antigua Barbuda 0, Jamaica 0 in this friendly encounter here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. Ball is chipped up into the air by Antigua Barbuda, headed away by the Jamaican defense. Marsh pulls it down and looks to go forward, but gives it away to Antigua Barbuda, who then chips it forward. The Reggae Boys get it as they just try to go forward. That was the number 12 again. Is it the number 12 or is that the number 2 for Antigua Barbuda? We'll figure it out because the
Number 12 is Jarvis, and the numbers are not in order like the Jamaican team.
They're all over the place. So it's difficult. It's a little bit difficult because the Antiguans didn't line up there, didn't give their lineup in logical order. This is Tamale Thomas with a long throw for Antigua Barbuda, right over the top of everyone and behind for a goal kick for the Reggae Boys. Still 0-0. We're in the 16th minute of the first half. Antigua Barbuda 0, Jamaica 0. You're listening to coverage here, and we're live on ABS Radio 90.5 FM, and we're also streaming live with the ABFA media team. So this is the Reggae Boys on the right-hand side. They look to chip it forward. The ball is in the air. Should be won by Karanja Mack, and is. He chips it forward looking for Jarvis. The Benna Boys win it. The dangerous play called by the referee as there was a boot high in the air from the Reggae Boys. So the Benna Boys will have a free kick just after the center circle on their left-hand side. We see Karanja Mack taking control of it. He's going to look to bunt it forward, looking for Peter Byers and Jarvis and the other Benna Boys who have gone forward. Here is this delivery, played forward, but played poorly by Karanja Mack, giving away to the Reggae Boys. They have it now in midfield, but the Antigua and Barbuda team, they've retreated and they've gotten their defense organized, and the Jamaicans trying to go around the sides of the Antigua and Barbuda team puts it into touch, so it remains 0-0. So we watch as play is continuing on the far side. Antigua giving the ball away far too easily. They give it away again to the Reggae Boys and they look to battle. This is Peter Byers trying to close down the Jamaican defender, just turns away and gets away from him easily. Then plays a diagonal ball looking to cover the Antigua and Barbuda defense, but it's headed down. Here is Jamaica over the halfway line. This is the number 18 being forced backwards, the Jamaicans, and they seem to just go backwards in order to go forwards all the time, just starting things over when they become trapped by the Antiguans. The Jamaicans trying to play good football, just trying to knock it around, probably just cause the Antiguans to tire a bit because they're just moving all over without the ball. Then this is a diagonal ball again, not finding its target. Karanja Mack doesn't head it well, so Jamaican have a second chance. This is the number 17 again. Vassell just trying to do a little bit of a step over. Here is Vassell in those colorful boots. This one is chipped forward looking for Marsh. The offside flag goes up from assistant referee. 1 in Barker. It's going to be a free kick for the Benner Boys of Antigua and Barbuda. Still 0-0. We're in the 19th minute of play in this encounter. Antigua Barbuda 0, Jamaica 0. Brenton Mohammed takes this free kick, gets it long. Antigua and Barbuda player goes up and then loses out to the Jamaicans. So he'll have to do some work back. The midfield of Antigua and Barbuda is trying to close down the Jamaicans.
That's Mervyn Hazelwood.
Hazelwood just trying to do some hard work for the Antigua Barbuda team. Ball is then played forward and it's into the arms of the Jamaican goalkeeper. He then rolls it out onto his left hand side. So Jamaica building from defense as they continue to look to go forward. Vassell coming all the way back into defense for it. The ball is back with the Jamaican goalkeeper. Then he spreads it out onto the left hand side. Antigua Barbuda not having much of the possession so far. The Jamaicans have had probably 80% of the ball so far. Here is Antigua and Barbuda trying to get it out of defense. Then a shot from distance from the Jamaican plane, backing up, not making good contact, and the ball goes behind for a goal kick for Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda with it in defense, goes back to Brenton Mohammed, and Mohammed just chips it and gives it away. The Antiguans not showing a lot of confidence with his boot there, Brenton Mohammed. The ball was played back to him and he just chipped it up into the air as he was under a bit of pressure from an onrushing Jamaican forward player.
I think Antigua and Barbuda just need to just settle down. When they get the ball, just hold it, play it around, knock it around just like the Jamaicans do, instead of just trying to play out one long ball over the top. And every time they try that, it goes straight to a Jamaican player.
And the Antigua and Barbuda setup would suggest that that is what the coach would want them to do, because they pretty much have one player forward who is in that solitary forward position.
Yes, but I think that would work by them holding it up, join the Jamaicans into them, and then play it over the top for Peter Byers to run onto. But if they're just going to, as soon as they get it, kicked it over, then he has no chance against 3 or 4 defenders at the same time.
So we watch as Jamaica with a free kick just about on the halfway line. They go backwards, finding their defense, usually their first order of play. The Jamaicans, they go backwards and then come forward. This is Laws with it in defense, holds it back on the right side to find the player who is on that right side. Is it the number 5? We'll find him. We're just still trying to sort the players out. We are quite a distance away, and the numbers on the back of the shirts
Yes,
are
if you
pretty
notice,
small.
you notice what the Jamaicans are doing in the defense. They knock it around, pull the Antiguans towards them, and then try to play it over the top. The Antiguans need to probably do the same thing.
Here's a pinpoint pass on that diagonal on the right side, but they're forced backwards, the Jamaicans. They come back into the center of midfield. The number 8 just rolls it short in Shaw, as the Jamaicans still just trying to go forward. So Antigua Barbuda will have a throw in, as the Jamaicans was just trying to pass, and the pass, not an accurate one, went into touch. So
There's a player down on the far side for Jamaica, but he's off the field of play, so the physios are attending to him presently, so no need for the referee to stop the game.
Ball is then played aimlessly by Antigua and Barbuda. Probably that's why the Jamaicans probably had put it into touch for that player to receive some sort of attention, but he's off the field and he's seemingly good to go now.
Yes,
he's back on his feet and just running, jogging back towards the halfway line.
Looking to get the referee's attention. So
this is Karanja Mack for Jamaica, for Antigua on the left side. Gets it further forward, and the pass from the Antigua and Barbuda player was not a good one, cut out by the Jamaicans. But then good recovery work by the Antigua and Barbuda player, who just tried to cover Jamaica with it on the halfway line. They come onto the left, but then again Marsh can't keep it in play. So it's going to be throw-in for Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua Barbuda 0, Jamaica 0. We're in the 25th minute of this encounter between Antigua Barbuda and Jamaica. A few more spectators have come in since the female game. Joseph?
Yes, I think those
you can see we have a couple of hundred now.
Yes, and I think the Jamaicans fans, they would have come in. You know, if it's one thing, they support the teams whenever they're in Antigua. Sometimes they usually outnumbered the Antiguan fans at these games, whether it's cricket, football, netball, basketball, whatever sport it is.
We'll see, because definitely if there is a goal, we'll see who the fans are cheering for. This is a long throw from Tamale Thomas, coming with the Jamaican goalkeeper. The whistle goes from the referee, and I think that he's a little bit harsh, because the player has all right to play the ball there. The goalkeeper came for it inside his penalty area and didn't make contact. I thought that the Antigua and Barbuda player had every right to challenge for that ball. It was a long throw.
Yes, he did.
It was inside the penalty area. And in that space there, the goalkeeper has no more privilege than anyone else, except that he can hold the ball with his hand.
Exactly. The player had all right a while ago to challenge for that ball.
Free kick taken by the Jamaica team. They have it in defense, as Antigua Barbuda had retreated back into their own half. The Jamaicans trying to go forward down this right-hand side. It's player is twisting and turning and gives it on the outside. Good hustle work by Karanja Mack. He's now trying to go forward, and then he's fouled. The referee.
Much better there by Karanja Mack, instead of just swinging downfield like he has been doing for the earlier in the game. He decided that this time he's going to hold on to it and take a few players on and join a foul for his team. He needs to do that more often instead of just kicking the ball away.
He needs to show some confidence, the Antigua and Barbuda players, because they just need to show some confidence and compete against the Jamaicans. This is a pushing again by the Antigua and Barbuda attacking player. The ball was played diagonally and just using his arm and pushing.
That looks like Jarvis again. No, that's number 12. Yes, that's Nathaniel Jarvis.
Yes, and he's been involved in quite a bit of the pushing and tugging and all the other things that take place. Here is the Jamaican player just getting away from the Antigua and Barbuda midfield player and then running forward with it. But good recovery work by the Antigua and Barbuda defender. The ball is banged off the body of a Jamaican and it goes straight to Mohammed, who collects, has it now, boots it up over the halfway line for the Benner boys. looking for Peter Byers. Byers showing on the inside, and again he's going to have to do some running. The Jamaicans get the Byers seeing what he was going to do, skipping over the ball, but the ball, no support from
the Antiguans.
So Jamaica has it in defense. They're just trying again to knock it around. They seem to be doing a lot of building down that right-hand side, the Jamaicans. Here is the player there cutting on the inside, looking to take on the Antigua and Barbuda. Number 7, he gets a shot. Good save by the Antigua and Barbuda.
Offside. And that's
goalkeeper.
That's Hardware. Number 7 is Hardware.
Hardware getting that shot off. And then offside given as the goalkeeper, Mohamed, had made the save. And it was judged that the Jamaican number 16, is it?
Yes, number
was
16.
in that off then, Siobhan Marsh.
Yes, and
was in that offside position.
You can't gain an advantage from being in an offside position if the ball is from a deliberate save from the goalkeeper or any other player.
That was
that was a correct call there by the assistant referee. Because Marsh was already in an offside position before the shot was taken.
And then the save from...
And so no way he could have been the first player to play it after the ball was saved by Mohamed.
Antigua giving the ball back to the Jamaicans as one of the Jamaican players gone down and the ball was put into touch. But he's all right. He gets back to his feet. So it's going to be a goal kick for the Jamaica team. The Jamaicans have chosen to play it out at the back rather than going for that long pass. We see now the goalkeeper indicating to them to go up. He's going to boot this one as the Antiguans had closed down the Jamaicans. The ball is chipped high up into the air. We're in the 29th minute of the match. Jamaica 0, Antigua 0. The Jamaicans trying to go forward with this one. Here is the Jamaicans on that right. Is this Hardware? Cuts on the inside again. The Jamaicans have it. It's a nice little play down. Hardware just falling. Was looking for something. It comes forward to Peter Byers. Byers holding off the Jamaican defender, but he has no space. He's been forced backwards. The ball is chipped forward for Antigua Barbuda. The Antigua Barbuda number 12 just coming forward and then not getting onto the end of it. So the Jamaicans have it in defense with McCarthy. McCarthy plays it out onto that right-hand side again, looking for Hardware. Hardware comes into the way of the Antigua and Barbuda defense, and the ball is played into touch for another Jamaican throw-in. Taken short, finds Vassell. Vassell back to Hardware. Hardware cuts on the inside, still with it Hardware. Then he rolls it into the path of his Jamaican counterpart, who flicks it out onto the left and finds Marsh. Marsh rolls it into the path of the Jamaican number 18, who plays it right across the penalty area of the Antigua and Barbuda team, but it's flicked away into the no man's land for Antigua and Barbuda. And again, Peter Byers is on his own up front, trying to run at the Jamaican defense. The ball goes into touch for a throw-in for Jamaica. So, Jamaica 0, Antigua Barbuda 0. We are in the 31st minute of the half, so 15 minutes to go in this first half of this encounter. Friendly encounter between Jamaica and Antigua Barbuda. The Jamaicans were in St. Kitts on Thursday.
Yes, sir. They won 3
They
goals
won
to
3
1.
goals to 1 over there against the Sugar City Boys. Tonight they come up against the Benner Boys and would be hoping for a similar type of result. Here they are again on that right side, and Hardware looking for Vassell. Vassell looking to come onto the end of that one. He looks at the referee, asks the question as he was bundled off the ball by the Antigua and Barbuda defender. The ball is with Mohamed, who launches it forward looking for Peter Byers, but again Byers can't get anywhere close to it. Is this Hazelwood with it?
No, that's George. That's George, Adriel George, number 7.
Adriel George now plays it diagonally, looking for Tamale Thomas, and Thomas does well, gets it down, but no power. So it's easy take for the Jamaican custodian in Amal Knight. It's with Jamaica, just short of the halfway line on the left-hand side. They go back on the inside, and they're now back with them on the left side, the Jamaicans. This is Marsh, just on the halfway line. Little bit of interpassing between himself and Ricardo Morris. Then Morris is forced backwards for Jamaica. They now try to go down the right-hand side. The Jamaican player falls and the ball is won by the Antigua and Barbuda player Jarvis. Then it's forced backwards for Antigua and Barbuda. They're now in defense. Antigua and Barbuda. This is Allen with it. Allen then rolls it back to his defensive partner. Then it comes on the inside for Antigua and Barbuda. Just having a little bit of
this is much better by Antigua and Barbuda, just possessing the ball, and that's what all they need to do is to hold on to it. But again, here we go.
Ball is played forward, looking for
Bias
Bias.
by Karanja.
Bias then comes diagonally, looking for Tamale Thomas. He's trying to cut it down. No one there for the Antigua and Barbuda team, giving away to the Jamaicans. Then Antiguans try to come forward, and then the Antiguan player in George is obstructed on that occasion.
Winning a free kick there for Antigua. And again, the one time Antigua decided to hit it around, pass it around, they got an opportunity. But again, when the ball was played over to Ziggy Thomas on the right, there was no supporting Antigua coming down the middle for the pass back that he made. And so the ball just went begging to all
And remember,
Jamaican players.
in speaking to the technical director some weeks ago when this same formation was played against Dominica, he tells me that's the strategy. The ball is to be held up by Peter Byers, and there should be players arriving. But on that occasion, when Tamale Thomas got the ball, there was no one. He played it back, expecting people to be there, but there was no one to be found. Here is he with a long throw. Throws it hard inside the goal area for the Jamaican goalkeeper. He clutches onto the ball at the last minute. Again, the referee is speaking to the Antigua and Barbuda players, but they have a right to challenge for the ball. I don't know why the referee keeps speaking to them. I don't know what he's trying to tell them, because a throw-in inside the penalty area, they have a right to challenge for the ball. They can't just stand up and allow the goalkeeper to come and get it every time. Bit of a short pass there by the Antigua and Barbuda, almost giving it away, but they win it back. They have it now in defense. Antigua and Barbuda, the player now coming out onto that right side, gives it to Vashami Allen, who is forced to turn backwards. Then a left-footed ball forward, looking for Tamale Thomas. Thomas is a strong player and rolls it on the inside. Good ball. Looking good for the player Allen coming down that right side, but again,
another good little build up by Antigua again. And every time Antigua decide to possess the ball, they look much better than just booting it over.
So here is Antigua and Barbuda trying to regain the ball from Jamaica. Jamaica switches it out to Hardware on that right hand side. He's had a lot of the ball, Hardware, and the ball is played forward, but then it's clipped away by the Antigua and Barbuda defense. So
Jamaicans seem to be operating on the left side of Antigua, their right. Seems like they with days where they are strongest, and we have seen them have a few opportunities from crosses from Hardware so far.
So Antigua and Barbuda with it, just stopping that one and giving the throw away, not allowing the ball to go out for the corner kick. So in defense for Antigua and Barbuda, we see Connor Peters and Courtney Wilden. We also see Vashami Allen there. And Karanja Mack. That's the back four for Antigua and Barbuda. Here is Jamaica on their left side. Tamale Thomas coming across with just a straining forward. Nothing too harsh about that one. Just late. Catching the Jamaican player.
Just
late.
Careless there. And so referee just telling him to calm himself, to stay calm, and let's keep the game rolling. Then what I was saying to myself that on the long throw-ins, instead of throwing the ball into the goal area, Ziggy Thomas, he just throw it more to the penalty spot. So it gives the Antiguans a better chance of getting their heads onto it, and with the goalkeeper trying to come through the crowd, it will take him longer to get to the ball, and then they might be able to score a goal.
Let's hope that he would notice that the two times that he has gone for the long throw from this side and he's gone close to the goalkeeper has been willing to come for it. So he would want to to just make the adjustment. Antigua has it now down the left side, Peter Byers, but again he's all alone, crowded out by two Jamaican defenders. We're in the 38th minute of the half. Antigua Barbuda 0, Jamaica 0, as this encounter is being played. It's a friendly encounter between these two teams. Let's see what Tamale Thomas is going to do with this long throw. Will it go close to the goalkeeper once more? This time he throws it flatter towards the penalty area, but the Jamaican defense is able to clear. The ball is then booted forward by the Jamaicans as the Antigua and Barbuda team just allowing it to go into touch. The Brenton Mohammed coming all the way across, and then in the end just having to distract the Jamaican forward player who was looking to sprint onto the end of that one, and it has gone out for throw-in. Throw-in taken. It's with Antigua Barbuda in their own half. It's been forced backwards. Karanja Mack again looking for that long ball forward. The defender coming over the top of Peter Byers. That looks to be the number 20.
And again, every time Antigua decide to play that long ball, it's always end up to a Jamaica. It's not working for us. When they control it and pass it around, then we see that we are able to get some chances at the Jamaican goal.
This ball is played in, looking for the Antigua and Barbuda strikers, but it's cleared away by the Jamaicans once more. This is Mack again with another diagonal ball into the penalty area for Jamaica. This looks to be Marsh, who is all the way back in defense for Jamaica. Hits it off the body of Vashami Allen, who had gone forward for that one. So still 0-0 as we heading into the 40th minute. Hasn't had too many efforts on goal. Not too many goal mouth action. Too much goal mode action. This is Tamale Thomas trying to use his pace. He's trying to run at the Jamaicans. The ball is loose in the penalty area. The Antigua and Barbuda player goes down on appeal from the fans. Nothing given by the referee, who was in a credible position. Here is the Antigua and Barbuda player in midfield, and he stops and then goes out to Karanja Mack, who steps on the ball, almost getting himself into trouble. Then the ball is launched forward for Antigua and Barbuda, but Jamaica has it headed back, and the goalkeeper coming off of his line in Amal Knight and clutching onto the ball as he was falling away to his right. Still 0-0. He rolls it on the ground now and then launches it into attack up into the air. Antigua and Barbuda player gets under it, and then they win it in midfield. Here is the Antigua and Barbuda striker with his back to goal and just winning and looking to turn and go forward, and he's bundled over by the Jamaicans. Ball is played forward quickly by Peter Byers, who was a shot into the side netting.
That was
had a left-footed effort, Peter Byers, but the ball going wide of the upright and into the side netting.
That was quick thinking there by Tamale Ziggy Thomas to play it early, not to wait on the referee whistle, but to play it early. Saw Peter Byers by him lonesome on the left, and he took a shot, but it went into the side netting. Something there for the Antiguan fan to cheer about.
At least that is the closest we've gotten to a shot on goal. Peter Byers getting an opportunity on his left foot, not his favored foot, but he does kick the ball well with both feet, Peter Byers. A lot of people think that he is over the hill. What do you think about Peter Byers?
No, I still think that if he puts in the hard work, because he's still the best we have. No matter, and he's still feared by many in the Caribbean.
Still
many
feared.
Teams still fear him. So
scored goals against scored against the same Jamaican team.
Yes, he has scored against the mighty USA.
Yes, so he's done well for himself, because he's scored against quite a number, many of the teams that are part of the powerhouse. Remember, scored against USA in USA.
Yes,
and you know that is something that he would probably still have somewhere up in his treasure chest as one of his better performances.
Yes, and he was subbed on in that game in Miami.
Yes,
in that downpour.
Here we watch as Jamaicans just trying to still knock it around. They've not been able to breach the Antigua and Barbuda defense thus far. Here is Marsh running at it, gets it right across. Laws coming back and is into the back of the net. The Jamaicans have scored. The number 17, Vassell. And I was just saying that they were not able to breach the Antigua and Barbuda defense. The ball coming right across the goal out to Hardware, who put it back into the path of Vassell, and with just a left-footed effort in the 43rd minute of play, Jamaica lead by a goal to nil.
I think what happened there, the Antiguan defense fell asleep, because after Marsh took the shot, it went wide, and the Antiguans thought it was going outside for a goal kick, but there was Hardware lurking at the back of the defenders, got around and just played it back into the penalty area for Vassell to run onto and just slot it past Mohammed into the back of the net for a 1-goal lead for Jamaica.
The Antigans fell asleep on that occasion.
Yes.
Not guilty of not seeing the ball all the way, because the ball came right across and the Antiguan defense almost fell asleep, looking as if they thought the ball had gone into touch for a goal kick. Hardware was on that far side, and he's done a lot of work on that right side for this first half, and he was able to put it back into the path of Vassell, who just with an outstretched boot struck it into the back of the net, beating Brenton Mohammed, and it's 1-0 to the Jamaicans.
Here we have a Jamaican player down. That's look like our good friend in the pick. Vassell. That's look like the goal scorer. Who is down. Referee has summoned the physio onto the field of play to attend to him. But again, Antigans only had themselves to blame for that goal. Everyone stood up and was watching the ball. But Vassell saw the opportunity to get around the defense and just rolled it back nicely in the penalty area for Vassell. Hardware, just roll it back for Vassell to slot it into the net past Brenton Mohammed.
So the Antigans would need to sort that out, make sure that they play all the way to the end, just as we thought that they might escape into the halftime interval with honors even. They had a lapse in concentration, and the Jamaicans capitalized and were able to score their first goal. So Jamaica 1, Antigua Barbuda 0. Here is Bias trying to run onto the end of a long ball launched forward by Brenton Mohammed, launching it all of 70 yards down the pitch, and the ball is able to bounce into touch over the goal line for a goal kick to the Jamaicans. We
1 minute,
just have 1 minute
of extra time
added on by referee Games of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as this encounter. Just 1 minute he's added on at the end of the first half. We haven't had that many stoppages, probably just this last stoppage here with Vassell. And we had one, but the player was off the field, so didn't really affect the time. Here is Jamaica trying to go forward, looking to try and double their lead, but Antigua wins it. They slide it down that left-hand channel with Peter Byers, but he's forced backwards. Gives it, then the ball is chipped forward again, poorly.
Here we go again.
This time
trying to play it over one time instead of controlling, looking up, and make a shot to pass to George, who was just to his right. But instead he decided to go long, and it went outside for a goal kick.
So the Antigua and Barbuda number 22 and Joanne Martin guilty on that occasion. So here is Jamaica with it in midfield. And the halftime whistle has come in this encounter between the Benner boys of Antigua and Barbuda and the Reggae boys of Jamaica at the half. The Jamaicans leading by a 43rd minute conversion by Vassell. 43rd minute conversion by Peter Vassell of Harborview FC in Jamaica. Just getting onto the end of a good pass by Hardware and slotting it low past Brenton Mohammed into the bottom left-hand corner of the Antigua and Barbuda goal. So the Jamaicans go into the half leading by a goal to nil over the Benner boys of Antigua and Barbuda.
A deserving lead for the Jamaicans. They have been better for the first half. I think, again, Antigua need to rethink their strategy of this long ball over the top. It's not working. And so, like I said, and I'm going to keep saying, that they need to do as the Jamaicans are doing. When you get the ball, you keep possession, pull the Jamaicans towards you, and then you can try the long ball over the top. But by just kicking it over the top, where 3 and 4 defenders on Peter Byers, he's only going to get possession of that ball 1 out of every 10.
So, at the half, Jamaica 1, Antigua Barbuda 0. We'll refresh ourselves and rejoin you in about 10 minutes or so for second half coverage of this friendly encounter between the Benner boys of Antigua and Barbuda and the Reggae boys of Jamaica. So we'll rejoin you in a short while. Good evening.
That's the most important thing, you know. What you did. And so long as you're willing to learn, then you will learn.
Yep.
And the problem is that some of them think that don't arrive, you know. So, and then,
So we're having the start of the second half of this encounter between the Benner boys of Antigua Barbuda and the Reggae boys of Jamaica. They've switched around and both teams are now ready to go with the second half of this encounter here this evening. We've just had about 20 seconds or so of the encounter so far. Still Benner boys of Antigua Barbuda 0. The Reggae boys of Jamaica 1 with that first half strike, the 43rd minute, coming from Vassell, the Jamaican forward or midfield player who shows up a lot on that forward line in the encounter. We have a clash of heads there.
we have a substitution for Jamaica, number 17, number 11.
So Vassell is going off. I saw him over on the far side looking as if he was limping.
So Vassell is off and Marshall is on. Alex Marshall, he plays for Cavalier in Jamaica. And in the meantime, there's a Jamaican player down. He's been assisted by his physios.
See, when they had a clash of heads, the Jamaican player and an
Yes,
Antiguan
number 7 for
player.
Antigua. Antiguan physio is treating the number 7. He's jogging off. That's George.
See him holding the back of his head, and the Jamaican player seemingly down. We see them signaling
That's
for a
substitution
substitution
for him. So
as
that's
well.
the end of his
That's
game.
the
I'm
end of
trying to
his game.
find out what number he has so I could tell you the name of the player. But he's still on the ground on his back, and the physio is signaling to the bench.
They were trying to help him up for a short while.
Okay, and here comes the stretcher.
It looks almost as if it's the number 7, but I'll have to confirm.
And number 7 is Hardware.
Yes.
He would have been the one who assisted. So
the two persons responsible for the
goal,
goal
it seems like they
seemingly
both are going off at the same
in
time.
quick succession.
Yes,
Yes,
because Vassell was just substituted for Marshall. And here, if this is Hardware, and he's been stretchered off.
No, it's not
No, it's
Hardware
because
because
I'm
Hardware
just seeing number
yes,
7
number
there on the
7 is
field.
there,
In the
so-
center of the field, so as Hardware is still on, so it's not Hardware who butt
He just-
heads with the number 7 for Antigua George.
looks as if it's number 8.
Number 8 or number 8. Number 8 is Shaw, Tevin Shaw.
So we'll confirm he's off now, as the Antigua and Barbuda team will have a throw-in on their left side. We expect them to give the ball back to the Jamaican team. They do so now. So Jamaica have it in defense. They're playing now right across the back line, the Jamaicans, just trying to get back into the swing of things after we had that clash of heads. The ball is launched forward looking for Marsh. Marsh fighting with the Antigua and Barbuda defender, who ends up with a strike. Here's a strike at goal over the top of the crossbar by Sharon Marsh. Got it at his feet, got the strike away, but couldn't keep it down, and it sailed over the top of the goal for the Antigua and Barbuda custodian in Brenton Mohammed. Here is Vashami Allen almost getting himself into a heap. Good turn by the Antigua and Barbuda player to just get away from the Jamaicans. Then he gives it out looking for the Antigua and Barbuda number 12, but his
Nathaniel Jarvis.
touch let him down on that occasion. Not a good pass. We see the player being carried away
on the
stretcher.
Hope it's nothing too serious. Hope it's something he'll
Thought they
rebound
might have
from quickly.
thought they might have taken him towards the ambulance, which is close on this side, but they opting to take him all the way around. Here is a Long throw for the Antigua and Barbuda team. The heads go up. The ball is headed into touch, and it should be a goal kick for the Jamaicans.
And that was a better better long throw from Thomas. That one was outside of the goal area, and so the keeper had no opportunity whatsoever to get to that ball, and two Antiguans with better communication, one of them would have headed that into the back of the net.
He took one late in the first half as well, and it went similar to that spot that you were talking about, the penalty area. So clearly he's noticed what you were saying, that when he throws it close to the goal area, the goalkeeper has an opportunity. Here is Antigua and Barbuda player trying to fight his way down on that left-hand side.
That was Hazelwood trying to swing it across into the penalty area for Peter Byers and Thomas, but instead it went outside for a goal kick for Jamaica.
Hazelwood wearing the number 23.
Substitution for Jamaica. Number 8 is off. Number 15. That's 15 then more. That look like 15 from here, but number 8.
They're doing number 8 is the player that is injured.
On the stretcher, so Shaw is off, and if that was number 15,
yes, it looks like if it's number
Solomon
15 that has come on. Yes,
Solomon. He plays for Portmore United,
and he slotted into the back 3 for the Jamaicans. So they've switched things around somewhat. We'll tell you what the change is, because he slotted into the back 3.
Yes, and he's listed here as a defender.
Yes, he's gone straight into that central defensive position, given away by Karanja Mack to the Jamaicans, who begin to come forward now, but not a good pass, but they still maintain it. This is a good pass, looking for the number 3 who is running down that right side, but his pass is poor, goes straight to Mohammed. So Antigua has it.
Javan Brown.
Probably.
Yes.
We look
Brown.
as the number 3. Javan
Brown, yes.
Javan Brown. As Antigua has it, trying to settle.
He's playing the right back position for Jamaica.
This is a ball again. The ball is chipped forward on the left side for Antigua and Barbuda.
Poor pass by Antigua and Barbuda. And we are back with the same thing then more. A long ball over the top to nobody.
Well, it comes from the strategy that they're playing, because you're playing 4-5-1. You have one man forward, and based on what the coach told me a couple of weeks ago, you're supposed to play the ball forward to him. He's supposed to hold it up and wait for other people to come, but clearly it's not working. A strong tackle from the Antigua and Barbuda player in Allen, but he's all ball as Antigua has it in midfield, looking to come forward now. He has a player running down that right-hand side in Allen, looking to overlap. The pass is not good. It's back with Antigua and Barbuda. Here is the player looking to go forward, gets it forward, but again, the touch of the Antigua and Barbuda number 12 is not very good. He recovers though. The ball is with Antigua and Barbuda, played across and cleared away by Jamaica. The Antigua and Barbuda custodian was well out of his goal, and then he retreated back into his penalty area. It's now on the left side for Antigua and Barbuda. The player has it, gives a short pass, looking for his teammate. Is that Hazelwood?
Yes, that was
and then
Hazelwood.
He just gives it away
over to a Jamaican player.
Antigua Barbuda defending. Jamaica coming down the left side, and then another poor
cross
effort from the Jamaican player coming down that left side.
It was a nice build-up, but the final cross wasn't where he expected it to be, and it floated over the crossbar for a goal kick for Antigua and Barbuda. Seems like Antigua and Barbuda making a substitution, seeing the coach having a conversation with a player next to him. Guess that player will be on sooner rather than later.
So Antigua and Barbuda will be looking to make a change momentarily. So far, they've not played well. They've not been able to maintain possession of the ball. Here is the Antigua and Barbuda player with it, and then gives it to Hazelwood, who again turns into trouble. I get a feeling Hazelwood is going to be a goner very soon, because he's been out there and he's not necessarily been effective. His touch has let him down on a new number of occasions, and when he's gotten the ball, he's not been able to maintain possession. He's on this left-hand side of the Antigua and Barbuda midfield, but really has not been effective. Here is the ball played diagonally, finding the Jamaican number 3 running out. Good ball across, and he's able to steer it wide. My goodness, he was arriving. The Jamaican player thought that he was just going to slot it into the back of the net. He flicked it past the goalkeeper, but it went past the right hand post and behind for goalkeeper.
And here again we see number 3 Brown, the right back, coming all the way down, got a pass on the midfield player, started across the penalty area, and all that striker had to do was to just guide it into the back of the net, but instead he played it wide of the goal post.
Still 1-0 to the Reggae Boys. Antigua Barbuda with it in defense. They go from left to right, gets a return ball. The Antigua and Barbuda midfield player now playing it forward to Tamale Thomas, who turns well, begins to move with speed. Good run. He's playing it forward, but again, the flag of the assistant referee was early. Didn't use the wait and see on that occasion.
Yes, on that occasion, I thought he was too quick. The Antigua player that realized that he was offside and stood his ground.
Yes, like a gunslinger, he was up quickly. Here is a chance for Jamaica. Chips it over the back of the top of Mohammed and into an empty net.
Number 14. That look like Reed, number 14, Reed.
So we'll just confirm, but the time is the 56th minute of play. Jamaica going up by 2-0. And if that is the number 14, it's Reed who has scored for the Jamaicans. The Jamaicans going up by, is that the number 14 or is it number 11 that would have scored?
It looked like 14 to me from here, but I could be wrong. Antigua made a substitution. Out went, like we said, Mr. Hazelwood. And on is number 21. And number 21 is, it looks like Mr.
Joan Roberts.
Joan Roberts. Yes, that's him.
Plays for Sweets
Plays
FC.
for Sweets FC in the Antigua Barbuda Premier League. They just got promoted last year. Did pretty well to maintain their place in the Premier League.
For quite a while, they looked as if they were going to struggle, but then they got a good wind in the second round, found themselves, and were able to stave off relegation. So the men from Sweets will have another season in the Premier Division as we look as the Antiguan player, Joan Roberts, his first action is to bring down a Reggae Boy player. So 2-0 to the Reggae Boys.
That was Hardway who he brought down.
If it's not number 14, it was Reed in the 56th minute of play, getting that second goal for the Jamaicans. And again, not very good defending by the Antiguans for that second goal. He was clean through, had just to chip the ball over the advancing Mohammed, who was really in no man's land, was stranded. Couldn't do anything about that because he couldn't get to the player, couldn't get back onto his line, and so the Jamaican player just chipped it easily over the top of his head and into an empty net.
And again, we saw there that the Antiguans' defense again was caught napping. It was a simple ball played over, and it caught at least 3 Antiguans defenders just wondering what to do. And the Jamaican player just ran onto it and just slotted over Mohammed's head for goal number 2.
The Jamaicans looking hungry. They're trying to go forward once more. Here's the number 11 with a shot. It comes back off of the post, and luckily it comes back into the hand of Brenton Mohammed. But he was beaten there for pace by the number 11 who had that shot on the turn.
That's Marshall, the
substitute.
player who was substituted.
And he almost got the third goal for Jamaica. Antigua under pressure. Here they come down the right hand side now, Antigua and Barbuda. But again, they play it on the inside. No one is there in close attendance. Jamaica starting to move forward once more, and they're moving very quickly. Advantage played by the referee as this Jamaican player in
Hardware.
hardware running forward. He was brought down, thought that he might have been brought down, but the referee allows play to continue. Jamaica still has it. They're in the Antigua and Barbuda half, but they're now in the defense. They try to go diagonal. Karanja Mack coming across, can't get it. Then the player goes inside of Tamale Thomas. Thomas coming back quickly, but only finds a Jamaican player who has a shot at goal. And again, the goalkeeper Mohammed having to make a brilliant save to his right, diving away to knock this one behind. It's going to be a goal kick for the Jamaica team. Still 2-0 to Jamaica.
Excellent save there by Mohammed. Again, Ziggy Thomas working hard, trying to will his team to see if they can get a goal back and then see what happens in the latter part of the game. He's the captain today.
Captain in the Antigua and Barbuda team tonight, Tamale Ziggy Thomas, and he's been back. The Antigua and Barbuda defense have found it difficult. The Jamaicans with a corner kick. Took a while before they decided who's going to take it. Looks as if it's going to be Marsh who's going to take it. His left-footed corner comes in, cleared away eventually by the Antigua and Barbuda defense, but it's with Jamaica. On their left, they look to put it on the inside, headed up into the air by the Antigua and Barbuda defense. A bit of pushing by the Antigua and Barbuda defender. He has to be careful, can't be having that outstretched arm, especially when you're inside the penalty area. You push like that, could find yourself in trouble. The Jamaicans looking to come forward once again. Here they are, just knocking it around, just about on the halfway line or just after the halfway line. The Antiguans unable to get possession. Then they go forward with those pinpoint balls, trying to just hit their target up front. Jamaica, as they look to increase the lead here. They're leading by 2-0. Here is Jamaica trying to go down that left side. Antigua Barbuda won it and then gives it away. And now they're trying to get out of defense. But again, the ball is not well played. But they have it now as the player is trying to will Tamale Thomas to go forward. He comes on the inside, gives it to the Antigua and Barbuda number 12, who gives it back to Tamale Thomas, and he bangs it off the body of a Jamaican defender, bangs it off of Juvain Brown, and it goes behind for a corner kick to Antigua Barbuda. Jamaica 2, Antigua 0. We're in the 63rd minute of play. The Antigua Barbuda Benner boys in trouble. 2 bit of defensive blunders caused them to be 2-0 down. First goal, they fell asleep after a ball was played right across the Antigua and Barbuda defense. Here is the corner kick for Antigua and Barbuda, floated in, headed away by the Jamaican defense. It's now with Karanja Mack, and then a Jamaican player goes down. A late whistle again from Moet Games. Thought
That wasn't a good corner at all by George, number 7.
no pace whatsoever. He just floated it in.
Yes, at least you have to beat the first line of defense on any corner kick you're taking. If you have Antigua substituting their goalkeeper, so we have Mohammed, and he's been replaced by James.
Yep, so Marvin James coming in, Brenton Mohammed going off. So, Marvin James.
Don't know if he suffered an injury or something, but don't see the reason why you'll be substituting the
Well, it's
goalkeeper
a friendly international. I think they can make up to 6 substitutes in this game today. So maybe just an opportunity to give Marvin James a run out. Ball is with the Antigua and Barbuda defense. It's going behind Marvin James.
I think it would have served you better to put Javon Bozo Stevens and another striker to help people by us up front, because this one striker is not helping us.
Well, it's not working for the Antigua and Barbuda team. Here is Jamaica trying to go forward once again, but this time they are outnumbered. The Antigua and Barbuda defense, it was 3-1. So they decided to turn and to go backwards, then try to rebuild, start over again. Here is the number 3 in Brown. Being forced backwards. Peter Byers up on his own. He's gonna run probably a marathon today without touching the ball, because he's been running and has not gotten anywhere close to the ball. The ball is in defense with Antigua and Barbuda. They go back to Melvin James. James then just turns and gives it out onto the left side to Wilden. Wilden is running forward with his left foot that gets it onto the inside to Tamari Ziggy Thomas, who has decided to come into midfield and has dropped deep. Antigua Barbuda has it. They chip it forward again into no man's land. There's no Antiguan player up there to get it. It's back in defense for Antigua and Barbuda's Jamaica. Had just strayed as well. This one is played out onto the right-hand side for Antigua and Barbuda, the player. Watching it as it came down and then just carrying it over the goal line and behind for an easy corner for the Jamaica team. Jamaica 2, Antigua Barbuda 0. We're into the 66th minute of play.
Substitution for Jamaica, number 18 and out, and number 6 in.
So
if it's
looks like it's 19.
19 out. So that's Morris.
19 out and number 6 in.
So Morris is out. That's Ricardo Morris. And in is Ricardo Thomas. So one Ricardo replacing another Ricardo.
Yes, Ricardo.
Ricardo
Morris
Thomas.
out.
And he plays for Waterhouse FC in Jamaica. And he's replacing Ricardo Morris, who is a Portmore United player.
Here we watch as this is strong tackle coming from the Antigua and Barbuda player, but Jamaica has it in defense. They look to go forward now. They launch it long down that left-hand side. The Antigua and Barbuda player just flicks it back to Melvin James. James, who then plays it straight to the Jamaican player in Marsh, who goes down. The referee signals get up, and as he moves on, the Antiguans look to come forward. They have it on their right-hand side, but again, not showing a lot of confidence when they're on the ball. They give it away far too easily to the Jamaicans. Here is the Antiguan player being bundled over by the Jamaicans. There's a little bit of pushing.
I think George has been having a good game. Whenever he gets the ball, he tries to do the right thing at all times, hold it, and try to spread it wide.
Here is Antigua and Barbuda. Juan Roberts gets it forward to Peter Byers. Byers has to turn, and then he looks to come across the face of goal, looking for Tamale Thomas. Didn't find him, but he gets it now out onto that right side. Tamale Thomas just using his pace to catch up with the Jamaican number 3.
Brown.
It's with Antigua Barbuda now with the number 22. Is that 22? I'm probably seeing things. So far, here is Antigua Barbuda on the right-hand side. That Byers trying to go forward. It's going to be a throw-in for Antigua and Barbuda. Taken quickly. Gets it on the inside, Antigua and Barbuda. With a little bit of possession now. It's now with the Antigua and Barbuda left side. This is Tamale Thomas. Then rolls it for Juan Roberts. Roberts faces up the Jamaican player. But he needs to take control of the ball. The problem with that play just now is that he has never had control. The ball was still running. Even though he was doing all the flick, he needed to have control of the ball if he's going to really take on the Jamaican player. However, Antigua and Barbuda did get a corner kick from it.
And a few times Antigua decide to hold possession of the ball. They look a total different team.
In the 69th minute of play, the ball is played. A cross header down from the Antigua and Barbuda player there. Just a nudge. Didn't really jump or anything to really generate some power. Just trying to guide it into the net. The Antigua and Barbuda.
He should have done much better. He was all alone, a free header. He should have done much better in getting that on target.
You would really
at least giving the goalkeeper some sort of trouble in holding on to it. But he just headed it down a few yards from him.
So taken on the halfway line by Jamaica, cleared into touch by the Antigua and Barbuda defense. So another throw in for the Jamaicans. They walk 5 yards forward. Player now has it. Takes the throw in, gets it on the inside to Hardware. Hardware, who has come back now into a more central midfield position after we've seen the departure of Vassell. Hardware has taken over that midfield post. The ball is now with Jamaica on their right. Number 11 takes it, then gives it on the inside. That's Marshall. Then they switch it from right to left. So this is Marsh. Jamaicans going back towards defense. Here is the number 7, Hardware. Gets it. Gives it all the way over to the number 20 in Laws. Laws comes across and finds Brown. Brown back to Laws. The Jamaicans just taking their time about it now. Chips it forward. Looking and finding the number 14 player then. But he's under pressure, and this is Tamale Thomas, who's going to run down that left-hand side. He's very quick. Gets past the Jamaican defender, but then he plays it on the inside, and there was no Antiguan player for him, but the Jamaicans come under pressure from the Antigua and Barbuda retreating striker, and he puts it into touch for Jamaican throw-in taken. Here is the Jamaicans lobbing it forward, looking for the forward player. The ball is going forward to the Antigua and Barbuda goalkeeper, who has come on in Malvin James. James works the ball back into his penalty area, picks it up, then throws it out to Karanja Mack on the left side. But again, Mack's touch lets him down. He gets it and just gives it away to the Jamaican team. The ball is with Jamaica in the midfield. They knock it around, out to Brown. Brown goes all the way back to his defense, who's now on the left side. They come forward to Hardware. There's a little bit of interplay. Hardware wants it. He turns, gives it on the inside to McCarthy. McCarthy runs into trouble. It's now with Tamale Thomas for Antigua and Barbuda. He rolls it short to his Antiguan teammate, who goes out onto that right-hand side to Allen. Allen being forced backwards now to his Antigua and Barbuda teammate. The ball is then played poorly, chipped inside, not finding anyone. Then the Jamaicans now looking to counter-attack. They begin to run forward. Here is the Jamaican player, but he's been forced backwards. So he just turns and goes back to his defense, gets it back, then rolls it forward. Jamaica 2, Antigua Barbuda 0. Here is the number 20 for Jamaica, Laws. Gets it on the inside to his number 5 player in Fabian McCarthy. McCarthy still turns and has it. Gives it to the number 11 in Marshall. Marshall to Hardware. Hardware out onto that left-hand side. This is Marsh. Marsh goes back to defense, and it comes right back across once more to McCarthy. McCarthy in space. Stops it. Looks up. Gives it out to Javane Brown. Brown back now to Hardware. Hardware to Marsh. Marsh all the way back. The Jamaicans having it all of their own. The Antiguans having to scramble across with a sliding challenge. So we're going to have another substitution.
So George is
Antigua.
out, number 7. And it looks like number 9 coming in.
Yes, number 9.
That's Javon Stevens. And he plays for Green Bay Hoppers in the Antigua Premier League. And George, who has just been substituted, he plays for Mansfield Town FC. And that's in England, I want to believe.
It is. So we watch as here is Antigua Barbuda with it in the midfield. The ball is passed to Vashami Allen. You could hear the screams of the technical director of Antigua and Barbuda, Ralston Debo Williams. And even though we were 90 meters away, we can still hear his scream as he was screaming at Vashami Allen to take control of the ball and to do better. Antigua Barbuda has it. They're battling. Joanne Roberts was guilty there of just holding on to the Jamaican number 5 player in Fabian McCarthy. And McCarthy, who's had a good game, he's been strong, been solid at the back for Jamaica. Here is Jamaica, and Laws with his hands up in the air, just wanting it, looking for it. Sean Laws gives it out to Javane Brown. Brown goes back to Laws. Laws looks up again, coming back towards the right-hand side, and he gives it in that little channel going forward. This is Hardware. Hardware turn backwards, gives it to McCarthy. McCarthy across to Marsh. Marsh begins to run at the Antigua and Barbuda defense, trying a little 1-2, but didn't come off. The Antigua and Barbuda team has it now. They can counter-attack, but again, that player was just guilty there. Nobody speaking to him, just to tell him that there was Marsh coming as it back.
That's Duran Martin, number 22 for Antigua and Barbuda.
Marsh
was fouled a while ago.
Marsh crashed into his back. So free kick to Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda team gives it away once more. Not a distinguished performance this evening by Antigua and Barbuda. It's with Jamaica. And this is Marsh. Marsh gives it to the Jamaican counterpart. It's now with Laws. Laws looks across, gives it to McCarthy, who is definitely going to come out to Javane Brown. Back to Hardware. Hardware goes across to McCarthy. McCarthy plays it diagonally, but away from his Jamaican counterpart. And the ball goes over the touchline for an Antigua and Barbuda throw in. Jamaica 2, Antigua Barbuda 2. So we're into the 76th minute of the encounter. Here is Antigua and Barbuda trying to build something down that right-hand side, but they run straight into the Jamaican player, and then that was...
And he's going to be red carded.
And then that was Washami Allen.
Yes, he's going to be red carded.
And straight red card.
Yes. And that is a deserving red card.
There was no need.
No need whatsoever for that tackle from behind.
Because he lost the ball. The Jamaicans were not going anywhere, and he just came in with a moment of madness. So the number 3 for Antigua and Barbuda going into an early dressing room, being sent off in the 77th minute of play, and Allen seeing red.
Yes, that was like you said, a period of madness by Allen. No need whatsoever for that to happen a while ago.
So the Jamaican player is going to be okay. He's up, and with the new ruling, because it was a red card offense, there was no need for him to leave the field. So Jamaica up by 2 goals and up by a man now. Antigua down to 10 men. So it's going to be a long 15 minutes, you would want to think, for the Antigua and Barbuda team with the loss of Ashami Allen. And there was no need. For that
whatsoever.
Don't coming
know what
from
could
behind.
cause him to do that a while ago. Nothing happened. Antigua had the ball, they lost it. And he just, like you said, a period of madness.
Instead of just retreating,
he
decided to just lunge into the back behind of that player. The straight leg, and probably left the referee with no choice but to send him off. Here is Jamaica looking to capitalize on the man advantage. Gives it to
Marshall to Brown. And Brown tried to slot it across the penalty area, but keeper Malvin Joseph had it in his possession, and he was fouled by a Jamaican player.
James, not Malvin Joseph.
Sorry.
Malvin Joseph is probably a politician.
yes. I was thinking of my representative there. Yes. Malvin Joseph, St. Mary's North representative.
Yes, Malvin James.
Malvin James is
the goalkeeper from where? Willie Keys, that plays for Triumph FC.
Formerly of Parham, but now of Triumph.
Yes, ball going right across the diagonally for Antigua and Barbuda from left to right, but straight into touch. So it remains Antigua Barbuda 0, Jamaica 2. And you tend to think that before we get to the end of this match, the Jamaicans might find a way to breach the Antigua and Barbuda defense once more, especially now that they're down to 10 men.
Every time the Jamaicans has possession of the ball, it looks like they can score on Antigua, because they're doing the right thing every time they get the ball. They keep in possession, not giving it away easy, like how the Antiguans have been doing for the whole game.
The Antiguans have played not with much confidence in terms of their ability, and you would expect that the home team would be the one that is in the dominant position, at least in terms of possession, but the Antiguans have been outplayed in all departments here tonight. Here is this ball played across by the Jamaicans. Here's the number 11 twisting and turning, looking for a shot, bangs it off the body of the Antigua and Barbuda defender and behind for
Not
corner
only
kick to
do I
Jamaica.
think that the players are outplayed, I think we we are also outcoached, because you can see the plan of the Jamaican team. I'm not really seeing anything at all from the Antiguan bench, coaching staff whatsoever. No changes whatsoever so far. We've seen the same thing from first whistle up to the time now that we are here watching this game. A substitution for Jamaica, number
Look like
7.
a double substitution.
Okay.
So Hardway
So Hardway is,
out.
he had
22 is coming on.
an excellent game. He was the creator for the first goal, and he has been he did well in the middle for Jamaica. He should be pleased of his performance here this evening.
So
And
Kahim Paris is
And-
coming on.
number 14, who I think was the second goal scorer, Mr. Reed, he's off, and that looks like number 12 who came on,
Javan East.
Javan East.
This one is played in by the Jamaicans from the corner kick, cleared away by Antigua and Barbuda. Eventually, the ball is still loose with Jamaica. They have it going down the left side. This one is played right across the goal of Malvin James, and he just watches it as it goes behind for a goal kick to Antigua and Barbuda. So we're into the 81st minute of play. So 9 minutes left in the encounter between these two teams, Jamaica and Antigua and Barbuda, and we see the Jamaican coach just like look as if they're calling another player from the bench. He had come forward, but then he's just sent back. Maybe it's one of those players who were just substituted, had just come up to have a word with the coach or just to say thank you.
There's an Antiguan player down. Is that Ziggy Thomas? Okay, right, he's up. Physio. Just take him off. See, there are 3 Antiguans warming up. They're now running back to their bench, probably to get their substitution card so that they can make
Probably get a run out
get a
tonight.
run out the last
what,
7 minutes.
little more than that, maybe.
Oh, last eight
Last
minutes,
eight minutes or so.
plus whatever stoppage time referee Barker.
Well, we look at them and they're back sitting down, so they're not coming on anytime soon.
Jamaican, that's Brown who is down, and here comes the physio for Jamaica to assess and to get him off as quickly as possible so that the game can continue. Again, I'm quite disappointed with the performance of the Antiguan team tonight. I'm never, ever, and don't think I'm going to be ever in favor of this 4-5-1 strategy.
To me, and the coach disagrees with me, so I must say so publicly. He told me, definitely, I know nothing about strategy. So he says that I suggested to him some weeks ago that this was a defensive strategy.
It is a defensive
He says
strategy.
it's not a defensive strategy. He says it's an attacking strategy, but you have to know how to play it.
Well, if it's an attacking strategy, then you see, our team doesn't know how to play it. So then we need to find some other strategy that we know how to play, because it's not working. I've watched this team over the past 4 or 5 years that we have employed this 4-5-1 strategy, and it's not working for us.
Malvin James puts the ball back into play. So we're back to football. Here is Antigua and Barbuda with it. They then switch it from left to right. It goes out onto that right side. The Antiguan player trying to get it forward, but it's won by Jamaica, who are a man up. Antigua and Barbuda down to 10 men. Bashami Allen sent off in the 77th minute of play. And this is the Reggae Boys coming down that left-hand side. The ball is played diagonally in, headed away by the Antigua and Barbuda defense. And the Antigua and Barbuda player,
That's Javon Stevens, who was
colliding
fouled there by the
Jamaican player.
Okay,
Javon
here.
Steven again. He's a forward player, a striker, but he's brought on and put into a wide position. We see Mac
Mac is being substituted for number 23, who is coming on. Antigua making a double substitution here. So Karanjamak is out, and it looks like
I think 23 was on already.
22 was on.
We see 16 off and 10 on. Number 19, it looks as if that has come on for Antigua
So
and
Junior
Barbuda.
Benjamin, he plays for Otters Rangers in the first division in Antigua. He's on for Peter Byers, who plays for SAP FC in the
And we
Premier
see
League.
Joel Jacobs, who has come on as well for Antigua and Barbuda, the number 19 player. They of Sweets FC, Joel Jacobs, the number 19, coming on.
Number 19, Joel. Okay.
Coming on for Karanjamak. Antigua Barbuda, they have a free kick, 3/4 ways into the Jamaican half. The ball is floated in. The ball goes up, headers go up, and then there's a shot coming in from the Antigua and Barbuda player. Shot on the turn, hitting the ball straight though to the goalkeeper for the Jamaica team this evening. Jamaica 2, Antigua Barbuda 0. Remember, they beat St. Kitts 3-1 in Sugar City a couple days ago. So this would be a good run out for the Jamaicans, because the coach had said that they wanted to test the ability of the local players to play well, and you would want them to play well, especially against their Caribbean neighbors. And they've played well this evening. The Jamaicans always look confident. They've passed the ball around well. They've looked to build on both left and right flanks, and Hardway looks a good player for the Jamaicans. And we also see Vassell, and you see
and Marsh.
Marsh
Yes,
looks a nice little busy player.
And I like Mr. Brown, who is playing on the right back here for them. He's a player
Nice
who
and
is
solid.
who is not afraid to attack and get that ball across in the penalty area for his forwards and midfielders to run onto.
Antigua and Barbuda not really had too many persons of distinction. I think the defenders, the number 6 and number 8 in Peters and Wilden, both left-footed players, they look pretty good in defense.
Yes, they look solid when on the ball. They has good control, not afraid to control the ball, even though the Jamaican players are around, and when they get it, they just don't boot it up, feel like some of the other players. They look to find an Antiguan player. Ziggy Thomas also, I must say, had have a reasonable good game this evening.
Anytime he's running, anytime he's sprinting is always a good thing for Antigua and Barbuda.
The last 2 games I've watched him for Antigua, I've seen the Ziggy Thomas that I've known from since when he was under my tutelage at Green Bay Primary School back then. A player who wants the ball to run at players, needs that freedom. I find over the years the coaches
they've killed his natural game.
Yes, the coaches have him just being defending, and
keeping him in a subdued sort of way. Here is Antigua and Barbuda Junior Benjamin looking to try and go forward. Then, as usual, the Antigua is just kicking it away in no man's land. Antigua and Barbuda number 12 up front has not had a distinguished game in Nathaniel Jarvis. He's been there or thereabouts, but he's not necessarily been effective. And so he's run probably a half marathon today, but he's not had too much of the ball, has not had the opportunity. We're getting close to the end of the regulation time. We just have 2 minutes to go.
Except for the one shot that Peter Byers got in the first half. He spent the rest of the game chasing the ball.
Here is Jamaica. In defense, they're knocking it around from left. Now they go back to the goalkeeper. Then they're coming towards the right. The Jamaicans. Then they go back left now. They're just keeping possession. Just keeping the Antiguans at bay. Then when they get an opportunity, especially when they get into that attacking third, they see the intensity and they see the speed up. They speed up. Here they in midfield. Now they come right across to Javane Brown. Brown, who likes to run down on the right-hand side, chips it forward. The ball is allowed to go past, and it goes into the gloves of Malvin James. James throws it out. Is that to Tamale Thomas?
Yes,
on
that's
that right side.
Who
Thomas
is now playing right back because of Mr. Allen's
Yes, because of
1
Mr.
second
Allen's
of madness.
madness.
Yes, which
Does he
caused Antigua
getting a
to be
straight red card.
down a man.
Here is Antigua Barbuda, Jovan Brown, forced backwards to Joel Jacobs. Jacobs comes across to Wilden, who gives it to Peters. Peters cuts back on the inside, now goes right across to Tamale Thomas, who has been called back into that right back position for Antigua and Barbuda. Then rolls it forward, looking for Javon Stevens. Here is Stevens with an opportunity, gets the ball, and he just falls as he was coming on the inside, losing his balance as the Antiguans try to.
And we see the photo of the signal, 3
3
minutes of
3
extra
minutes
time.
of added time at the end of this encounter. So just 3 minutes to go. And it's Jamaica 2, Antigua Barbuda 0. The Jamaicans just doing enough for victory, and they've not necessarily tried to rob home the advantage against the Antiguans. They've not tried to kill the Antiguans. They've scored 2 goals, and then we've seen them almost taking their foot off the accelerator and just trying to play some good football in the meantime, knocking the ball around almost like a practice session, trying to just try and impress the coach in terms of the quality of football that they would have played. So Jerome Waite is the man in charge of the Jamaican team. The Jamaican coach in Theodore Whitmore not coming. He had some problems with the Jamaica FA, and from our reports are that when they had sorted out the situation with Theodore Whitmore, they had already planned this trip and all the tickets and everything were in place. So they decided to let Tapper listen to us on the radio and watch it home on TV. So good evening to you, Tapper Whitmore. You're watching this game, and your team, the Jamaicans, they've done well.
Yes, and he would be pleased with what he's. I'm sure he'll be pleased what he's hearing or seeing of his local boys.
Let me also say good evening to Marcia of the Jamaica Football Federation office. Then more saying hello to you, Marcia, over there in Jamaica. Good evening to Pretty Boy Edwards and to Danny Benjamin as well. No doubt you should be listening or watching our live stream on YouTube, the ABFA stream of this match. We just hope that things work out well for you two guys and we have you home pretty soon. We believe in your innocence and we hope that things work out for you. Here is Jamaica down the left side, just looking probably for one last opportunity. We're into the third of the 3 minutes. Here is the Antigua and Barbuda team winning a free kick. They put it down, was looking to play it quickly, then just a little shove as the Antiguans take the free kick short. They have it in defense. Tamale Thomas just rolling it short. Is that Stevens? Stevens falls in the process. He seemed to have come on with an ice boot. He keeps falling down. Here is he on the ground again, tumbling over. So just another 10 seconds or so left by our watch. We don't know if Moet Games is going to add on any more, but he's going to have to write something this evening in his report because he's given that straight red card to Vashami Allen. Here is the ball coming in, falling on the chest of the Antigua and Barbuda player who's looking to have a shot. The Jamaicans looking to come forward, but the final whistle goes of referee Moet Games brings to an end the encounter between Antigua Barbuda and Jamaica. Jamaica winning by 2-0. Goals in the 43rd minute by Vassell and then Reed in the 56th minute. Enough to defeat Antigua Barbuda this evening by 2-0. Vashami Allen getting a straight red card in the 77th minute for Antigua and Barbuda. So Antigua and Barbuda playing the last 23 minutes or so with 10 men, but they did not concede another goal, but outplayed this evening by the Jamaicans, the Antigua and Barbuda team, and we think outcoached as well, as they had the more positive of the two strategies.
Yes, a deserving win for Jamaica. They took control of the game from first whistle to the final whistle. Again, Antigua will have to go back to the drawing board and